Welcome back to another episode from the Legacy Brand Podcast. On today's episode, it's going to be a bit different, but it's going to be an important topic that I think we should all just talk about and elaborate in general. Today's episode is going to be about breaking generational curses and the pressure of being great. And what I mean by that is the simple of breaking the tradition in your family, but I feel like our generation, just in general, we went through the generation of technology, even before technology. So when we first started growing up, we didn't have no technology. Mm-hmm. Then as we got older, we had technology. But how that played a role in us, okay, what we go stand for, what we go do in our life. So just announce yourself, bro.
My name Mike Slim, Mike Tunes. Y'all know me, Mike Slim, whatever y'all want to call me.
Okay.
Yeah. It's your boy iPound,
Hey, that was better than last week. That was better than last week.
But I'm tired.
All right.
John Johnson, aka the Guided Millennium.
And y'all got Clarence, So just to start with it, and I'm gonna just break it upon, myself or what I just want us to dig in first. What role, and I'm gonna just ask y'all, what age did you feel like, like I gotta make something out of myself?
When I turned like 14, 15, that's when everything started playing out. I started hanging around people older than me. And I was the young one of the group. And I just always told myself, like, I don't want to be like everybody else. Like, something got to give, something got to be different. Like, something got to be a stepping stone or something to make something better out of versus what we just seeing now.
Mm-hmm. So, for example, what happened and what made, what kicked in and like, you know what? Like, this shit ain't working, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm tired of this shit.
Like me, just hanging out in the street all day, just watching everybody sell drugs all day. Like, it gotta be something, like, than just doing this on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. Like, you start getting older, it's the same cycle. And then when you start realizing you don't want to be in the same cycle of things, that's when your mind trigger, like, you want to do something different, try to bring something different to the table to generate the same kind of outcome or the same kind of vision as something. Everybody wants something great, but what you want to be great at, the same thing everybody else do, or you want to try to find another route so where it don't hinder you in the long run.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Paul?
It kind of triggered for me around graduation time, because I was just like, man, you want something different, because people in my family, they ain't really graduate high school like that or go to college. So I was just like, man, I'm gonna try something different. I'm actually finished. I'm gonna actually go to college and see what can be different for me and things like that. So it was just something that I just wanted to do personally. I was like, I'm gonna be different.
Correct.
I just wanted to do it for myself and my future seeds.
So what about you, John?
That makes sense. Shout out to doing it for yourself.
Okay. So what about you, John?
I think for me, I never really paid attention to the long term. So I was in middle school doing middle school stuff, high school doing high school stuff. I didn't really think of how all of this played a bigger role in, where I was going. So same way with graduation. I think for me, I was done with all the BS I was dealing with in Palm Beach and at Suncoast and all that stuff, and I just felt like I needed to actually pay attention to, just pay more attention to what I'm doing, how I am, and how it impacts my future. So really taking that focus to think, okay, what am I doing? Because my daddy's favorite phrase, and I said this the last time, was always, don't be good, be great. So that was always a thing. I always knew it, but my actions didn't really add up to that, because I just felt like, that's for older. That's for when I turned 20 and 25 and all that. But no, it mattered at that moment. Like, everything that you do now, do it at, at a great level. Don't do it at just a good level. So
keep it going.
Paying attention after high school was for me, just kind of that long term at that point.
So let's talk about this. Let's say the background of your family. Everybody's family. Like, what's the background? Like, do you feel like your parents, success brought in a different type of level upon what you want to do, or the pressure of being great? That's a good question, right? Mm-hmm. That's a good question. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
both.
Like, did your family, or what your family has been, or what your family have done in life, did that play a pressure on you? Like, damn, you know what I'm saying, I'm finna sit down and I'm finna get this right, or, you know what I'm saying, like, did that play a pressure?
Well, yeah, because my mom worked at school, so I ain't had no choice but to be right.
That's real, you know what I'm saying?
That is.
She was on my ass, man. I was like, bro, and they'll go down there and tell her quick, so it was just like, man.
Let me
gotta
do.
be.
You know what I'm saying? So let's say this, like where your mom worked at, you know, doing your child.
Mama shit, daycare teacher.
Now, Pound, what about your mom?
My mom worked there in the cafe at the school, but
That's job.
My mama work at the state attorney's office.
Okay, now you see. So now my friend here, like, nah, and I ain't trying to point it out. So like, did you feel like that gave you like time to like, okay, I'm gonna plan this out that time that you figure things out?
In a way, but not really, because again, I wasn't paying attention to long term stuff. So my daddy worked in Brandsmart, my mom worked at the state attorney's office. So I felt like a somebody. Like if I want it, I'm gonna get it. Like
Right.
I was spoiled in a way, not spoiled extrally, but I just felt like I could have whatever it is that I wanted at that time. And so for me, it was just like, this is my normal. And my sister and I always, I think we had way too much confidence. We always had this thing of like, well, I'm a Johnson, so. Because everybody knew my daddy. Like, everybody in the community, no matter where we went, ain't you Robert Johnson daughter? It was like, yep. What's up? Like, and I didn't have to do anything just because I was carrying that name. And then once I got to the reality of, okay, so you living off your daddy, so it's like, when your daddy leave, what are you doing? Like, how are you kind of adding to whatever he created or the legacy that he created or people that he know and impacted? So it wasn't until afterwards when I started to realize, like, this stuff matters. You might want to get it together because you're definitely representing him, and it's not cute.
So let's say this, right? Do you feel like that way pressure on you right now to make something happen?
Absolutely.
Damn, see, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And it's not, I think for me, I had to turn it from being a bad thing to a productive thing. Like, just understanding that I don't have to be my parents and that I can still do great things just depending on my definition of it. So I think that's what helps our generation. We can kind of redefine stuff and we can really see, okay, that worked for y'all, that don't work for me. And so I can still be great according to whatever it is that y'all want me to do, but I'm going to still be open to figuring out, like, how we want to do it. So I think that's what I love so much about us as millennials, because we'll redefine something or recreate something real quick. Like,
and I want to work. Like, for the people, like, I want to say, like, when I speak of the pressure of being great, I'm not trying to say, you know, you got to be a millionaire, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say you got to be the head, you know, the CEO of a $1 billion company. I'm not speaking of that. I'm just talking about, you know, redefining the substance of, you know, being successful. You know, that's what I'm speaking of. And success will come in many ways upon what you want in life, but just breaking that barrier of, you know, what your family, you know, has done, what your family has settled for, and the problems that your family go through. And, you know, getting to that level where I don't have to go through those problems.
absolutely.
You know, because it was back in when I was young, you know, my mom worked did CNA home health care for, you know, her life, you know what I'm saying? And when we was growing up, man, I thought mom was making money, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know, why I'm not getting stuff, you know, so I wasn't thinking of the bigger picture of, you know, 5-10 years. I was never thinking of that.
We're doing enough to take care of us.
Yeah. And, you know, we thought, you know, food stamps, we thought all that was privilege, you know what I'm saying? We was like, I got food stamps, you know, mom, we good, you know what I'm saying? Like, we go shopping, we ain't got to do all that, but in reality, you know, that stuff, you know, when we look at it now, it's like, you know, some people have to go through that situation, but that stuff is like, we don't have control of what we want. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the biggest thing, bro. But we don't have control of what we want to do. That shit feel like, you know, it hurt. You know what I'm saying? It really do hurt. So limited, yeah. So let's say this, like, you know, you said your age was like 14 when you found that mindset of, you know, I'm gonna take things to the next. I'm tired of the same shit, right? I, you know, didn't think that deeply of like I'm gonna make things happen until I was like, I say like 17. You know what I'm saying? That's when it struck me, and I feel like it came from the family background, but me being the only like man, individual in the family that, you know, is going to take some shit and make some shit happen.
Like 14, 15, that's what opened my eyes up to like the cycle of daily life. Like, okay, do you want to keep doing this? Do you want to do that? Do you want to do this? Or what role you gonna take to make yourself great, or to withstand what life got to throw at you? You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, I ain't perfect, but I was already realizing like what I want and what I don't want to do, or how far I want to go with something. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
I feel like with me, like college was a great start to like like finding like how you want to do things or who you are. You feel me? Like I feel like me going there was a good start for like me finding everything too.
Exploring.
It's like the people you meet and then things like that. You know what I'm saying? People showing you different types of things. Like, I know like. Cause I always knew I wanted to be like a music producer, but I just ain't had the bread for it.
Correct.
So like once I started working and I graduated high school, that's the first thing I got was a laptop.
So you know about all that
Yeah.
stuff.
And all your own stuff. Yeah.
First thing I got was a laptop, man.
But don't y'all think like that's a way of breaking like a generational curse?
Absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
when you went to college, even if you made it or not, you got to see something to reiterate or bring it back home to show something different.
Yeah,
Like
facts.
go about it this way or show different ways of this to that to grasp to a different solution or something
Right.
versus just only what you know already.
Yeah, it was a generation curse. I was the first one to go.
I felt like I was the so. Speaking of my family, my grandma had 12 kids. You know what I'm saying? 12 kids, 6 boys, 6 girls. My mama was the youngest girl, and out of all the my aunties and everything, I was the only one that went to college and finished college. So to Mom Dukes, that was like the first time that I seen Mom Dukes cry at the graduation. So like at that point, you know what I'm saying, it was like, damn, you know what I'm saying, you really done did something. And I feel like success is different in everyone's eyes, but my level of success is you do something, you make an accomplishment, when everybody not heavily investing into it, support what you're doing, and when you do that and you get to what you wanted to get to, or you pass that obstacle, and everybody in embracing it, and then your mom happy, like what I'm saying, like I feel like that's when I'm like, damn, I'm successful at one point, what I'm saying, like that's the bigger picture, but we got so much in our generation that hinder people from focusing on the mindset. Like it's a killer right now. The trends that were going on and everything that we elaborate to or we get around, it messes us up as people. Like what would y'all say like is one thing that stops y'all along the way from like being great? You know what I'm saying?
For me, from my experience, it was like a lot of inside hate.
I see that. Yeah.
It was like, oh, what you think you better than this type shit. That's what I went through, and it kind of like made me feel like, nah, I don't think I'm better than y'all, bro. Like, so it kind of made me like want to be accepted by like my inside
That's
type
tough,
shit.
man.
So it was like, man, if they feel like this, then I might as well just
Not do it.
not do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it really kind of fucked me up, but.
We all go through that at some
Like that
point.
inside hate be real, bro. Like it's really real, bro.
And
We
how did
actually
you
be
get through
great.
How did I get through it? I just said fuck it, bro. They gonna hate me or not, but they just gonna, if they feel like that, they just gonna hate regardless anyway. So I just had to say fuck it and just do it anyway. Because if I let them define what, then they gonna say, then they gonna feel like, oh, you did it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? They gonna blame me. So it's just like, man, fuck it. Just do you regardless. Like,
So like pointing out, like I'm gonna say, getting on that. What's your level of greatness? Of being great, you know what I'm saying? Because we all got a different view on it.
And it's funny because I had a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday. We were talking about being a valuable person, and I realized before I would have did that, my definition would have been, I'm great because of who I'm connected to. So like how many people I know, how many people know me, like just how famous I am. But I think now it's just on the quality of who I am as a person. So you can be connected to 100 people. And 99 of them are trash. So it's like at what point or how great is that? Like it's always a quantity thing. We get caught up on the numbers and all that good stuff, but a lot of the people or things that we're doing or whatever is not quality. And so I think for me, greatness is being proud of what I'm doing currently, and just knowing that I'm a quality individual. Because I mean, I can have my hands in pots and I could be doing this and doing that, but if I myself as a person is not what I need to be doing, then it really kind of negates what I'm doing. Like I could be very prosperous and still be a trash individual. So I don't. You messing up your money at that point.
What they do?
It's just like
real.
Like it's kind of childish, but I live by it though. Like
yeah,
like that episode of SpongeBob. You feel me? When the guy made like 1,000 patties at one time. And you know, SpongeBob took his time with that one.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that one outdid
All of it.
all the numbers, bro. It's the quality of shit.
That crazy, cuz still remember that, you know what
Come on,
I'm
man.
saying?
I live by that shit.
Literally, you underestimate that, and that goes into even how you said about what was stopping you. Because my daddy's thing was independence. He had 8 brothers and sisters, and he was the last one. He wasn't the youngest, but he was the one that kind of made it out. He was the one that got everything together, and he just felt like I had to get it on my own, so you need to get it on your own. It's like, that don't have to be the thing, right? Like, that don't have to be the reality. Like, you can help me. Like,
correct.
Granted, as your daughter, that's what you should do. But just as a human to human, you can help me out. Like, parents, I think at that age, or for them, was always focused on making sure that they just did it themselves. And so it's like, okay, as kids, y'all need to do the same thing. No,
Yeah, that's
I'm
a curse
snapping it
too.
up.
I need you to help
Man, I'm
me.
snapping
Like,
it up for cuz, man.
I need you to figure it out. Like, you can't just throw people out there into the ocean and just expect them to survive. Like, I'm gonna drown. You mad at me for drowning? Like,
That was true. That was true.
Another
Like,
question.
hold on. I'm gonna just say what you said. So when you say you throw me out there and I'm drowning,
Yeah.
right? Like, Mom Dukes, like, was always by, my side, right? But like when we first got out there, I don't feel like she threw me out there. I feel like we threw each other out there.
Yeah.
that makes
Like
sense.
that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we threw each other out there.
Yeah.
What we did was like, you know what I'm saying? Like
We
that
jumped out
speculation.
there.
That speculation. I'm 18. I'm grown. Cause
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do it out alone. You know what I'm saying? And because of them growing up in the past and how hard they had it, they had, like I said on the last episode, the successful man going to the army, do
Yeah.
the thing. But we wanted different because we done went through that trend that we seen so much happen. So we want to be great in a different way. And I feel like we threw ourselves out there because of
We want to be our own man.
our own man, you know what I'm saying? We got pride, you know what I'm saying?
To the table as well.
Yeah, and try to bring it to the table in a different way. And I feel like that was the hurt with me. Like when I had, fell on the ass a couple times, Mom Dukes was like, she'll talk. I was so prideful, I didn't want to tell her.
That's so
That's
crazy.
the question that I want to ask. Do y'all think like our pride get in the way of generational curses as well, as far as we only sticking to one thing versus letting our pride go to be open to a lot of things and gain help to even help the generational curse that we going through?
Let's ask Azar for
And I ain't trying to get in my therapy
Nah,
bag.
say it. I said like no, but the people need to hear this.
Like,
So say it.
Yeah, because the reality is, granted, okay, we have great mentality. So the idea is our parents did whatever they did. That didn't work. I want to do something different. Great. But you don't go back to your parents and say, this didn't work. I need help. Because you have the mentality of, well, you ain't get it right. So what I need to ask you for?
Damn,
Or
that's real.
if I'm doing this, you didn't do it, so you're not gonna know. So I shouldn't ask you. Like, I shouldn't have to do that. But we definitely have too much pride, and not even with families, but in even siblings, in friendships. Like, we're all on this. I'm trying to go out here and get it, and that goes back to the definition of success. Like, okay, so how do you define it? Do you feel like your success is only contingent on you, like, doing just you? Or do you feel like community is important? Do you feel like who you connected to is important? So I think pride is definitely a major killer in just all of this, because we don't want to act like there are generational curses. There's some people who feel like their family is perfect.
I feel like that weigh heavily upon men being raised in single family households with our moms. You know what I'm saying? Because we got so much pride. Once we start clicking, like, I got to be great. You know what I'm saying? I got to be successful. But once we start clicking in that mindset. And we know why our parents made it in life, we don't want to ask them no shit. And I'm cussing on it. It's good, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause it's our shit. But we don't want to ask them shit because we're like, damn, they ain't do it. You know what I'm saying? They ain't do this, they ain't do that. So we like so hesitant, like, man, like, what you think, Mom? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't want to do that. And like I had that against Mom Dukes forever. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't want to ask her nothing. If I fail or if I get a setback, I ain't gonna tell her nothing because I wasn't comfortable with opening up. Towards that defeat, you know what I'm saying, or that obstacle that I didn't get the results I wanted to.
Yeah, because we didn't want to feel like less of a man.
I was just gonna say, is that how y'all defined being a man at that time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Hell
we stand
yeah.
up to protect, provide. Like this, what we building ourselves to get to. This what we need to do as a
But I
man.
realized,
But we feel that already to us, and then we trying to restruct ourselves for trying to find a way back to get it back right to do what we're supposed to do. So. It's all be a building structure. It's just how it flows, how it goes about. like a lot of things just going with personnel. Like we gotta know each other. Like what comforts, what could help us. Like when you hurt, what you do. When you a baby, when you hurt, you run to your mama, right?
Yeah.
Your mama could be right or wrong, but it's the nurturing of her comforting you. You feel me? Same thing when you get older.
I feel like that changes a little when you get older.
Mm-hmm.
Cause you ain't gonna run to it. Cause now you feel like at the age of 18, you feel like
Right.
that I'm the man, so I gotta do that for mom. Do
And that come back into the prideful thing, and that's where the whole cycle
Cycle
of
of
thing
it
comes
continues.
back to where we need to step outside the cycle to try to make the solution to what we needed to be.
I'm gonna ask you, did you feel like did you have a pride thing talking to your parents?
I feel like I was the problem.
Ooh.
So I didn't. Well, my daddy, it was, and it's I always bring him up because my mama, she's passive. Like
Mm-hmm.
it only bothered her for very small things. She wasn't problematic at all. But my daddy, with him, it was like when you present something to him, when you figure it out, you need to have all your P's and Q's dotted out. Like it needs to be mapped out because he gonna ask 75,000 questions, and if it's not right, he gonna make sure you feel that it's wrong, and then you need to go back and fix it. And it was just like, okay,
That sounds like me.
That sound like you what? When
Yeah, like if you come to me with something and it's not, I'm gonna hit you with 4-5 questions, and if it's not right, if it don't make sense to me,
So that's why I say right there. But no. But no. But that's key. You wanna know why you like that now? Cause you done been through the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You done been through all the stuff that was keeping you from like, okay, bad. This is what I gotta do. So now you done been through all that bullshit. You telling everybody like, you gonna hit you with all those questions. And when people come to me now, I'm presenting with like 10 questions, bro. Have you done this? Have you did that? You know
and
what
it's
I'm
about
saying?
your feedback too. That's another breaking thing because I didn't feel like my daddy gave me good feedback. Like this was wrong, but maybe if you figure this out or go this way or whatever, and then come back and tell me. It was always that's wrong. Okay, so what's supposed to happen after that? Like, what am I supposed to do?
So that's why I said like we our generation we had that hard time of like transitioning to being like what we want to be now. Cause our parents had tough love, bro. You know, like 50% of them had mom and dad household. I say out of that 50%, 25% of them had a family that established a little something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then out of that 25%, like 5% had some that they already had established that their kids could benefit from.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So when we was coming up, we had to work hard to get everything by, and that's why I feel like we had a lot of pressure on us, to being successful. You know what I'm saying? And to breaking those generational curses.
because they locked our daddies up.
Yeah,
And I was just gonna say we can go back to
But
the
that's-
success of a man
That-
thing because the reality is at that time, as y'all felt, it's prideful. I'm the man in the house. Like I got to get out here and get it. So what makes it different for y'all now? Like how does success as a man, or how do you define being a man, different from how it was then?
I mean, I just thought.
Sometimes you gotta lead and teach by example. Lead by example. You don't have to say nothing, but they'll watch. And a lot of people go at the ball floor. You can show them. After you get to a point, everybody want to know how you got to that point, and they fall in line from there. Or they might not fall in line, but they know they can come to you and ask, you feel me, to get a better solution to a problem that they got going on.
Right.
And I feel like as a man, it's nothing wrong with asking for help.
Yeah.
There's
That's
nothing
right.
wrong with that. Even if you have to
Everybody
come
need
with,
help.
like, come to your significant other, and ask them for help. Like, there's nothing wrong with asking for help.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with help.
There's nothing wrong with it.
I say like down in my eyes, I say, leading by example is the key thing. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I didn't have anyone that led by example and has told me real shit at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like, I could just look at somebody, okay, they're making moves, you know what I'm saying? But tell me the ins and outs, tell me that all the
Right.
dirt that come along with this shit that, we doing. Tell me how hard it's gonna be, tell me the setbacks, I ain't had nobody that be like, bro, that's your friend today, they'll be going tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a lot of women in my family, so I didn't, get all that, that man structure, shit until later in life.
Yeah.
That shit took a long time. It depends, and it also depends on the environment that you at. You know what I'm saying? People like beat that shit down. So as I got older, I done seen. I said, damn, cuz fell off. I see everybody fall off. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and this shit real. You know what I'm saying? Life ain't no joke. You really gotta, be strong with life. How that bit go?
Yeah, cause that bitch hit your ass, boy.
That bitch hit your ass, and especially like like I'll put it like this. I'm gonna ask y'all this: what age do you feel like you was set like, okay, I accomplished something? Because this was, some other people need to hear, especially the kids that probably might watch this. Like, what age did they hit you like, okay, I accomplished something?
I would say like 24, 25, like when I like actually like even when I was doing the music, it was just like, man, I'm just doing it. But when I actually worked with like a big artist, I was like, dang, bro.
So it's for the kids out there. I need y'all to hear that.
I was like, dang, bro. I can actually do this for real, bro. Like I can actually do it, bro.
Bro, we was 18 wanting to make it in life, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We was legit 18, like, boom. When I hit 10, I'm gonna make it big. Like, we was that age.
Mm-hmm. And even then it goes into definitions too. Right. It goes into definitions of what you define as an accomplishment. Because I think mine, business wise or like career wise, I'd probably say around the same age. When I graduated college and I was doing stuff with therapy, but honestly, I felt like a somebody when it was the 2012 Chargerette show, and literally I was in a bunch of shit in Suckos. It never failed, but I literally had the worst senior year. And at the end of Chargerette show, and then people underestimate the name call, but literally, my name got called, and I'm just, ready for just whatever the little wave. But like, people were excited that my name was called. Okay. And it was just like, damn, that really made me feel important. Like, as much stuff was happening, I still mattered to people. And so I felt like that really helped my confidence and to start thinking that I can accomplish more great things because people actually care. Like, about what I'm doing. I'm too much of an emotional person.
It's not about women grow faster than men, so I was never thinking about that in high school.
And I didn't think about it at that time until afterwards. It was just like, well, that was impactful as to why you can walk around FIU and do great things because you believe that people actually cared back then. But accomplishing like actual what I'm doing career wise and everything, probably not until I was 21, and I actually started doing my master's program and trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with that.
What about you, man?
Me? Probably like 2-3 years ago, when I just started to see like how you could really live life, like see different things, go different places, like compare how you live over here to how they live over there. Like, it's different. I don't know how to explain it. It's like different views. Like, okay, I never been here. We'll think we have it this way and that way, and we really don't.
Yeah.
Until I started traveling. And I started opening my mind up, like, dang, like, okay, you can do anything you want to do in life as long as you put your mind to it. I don't know how to explain it, like, honestly.
It made perfect sense.
It made perfect sense. That shit ain't hit me until, I say, like, when I felt like I made an accomplishment is when Mom Dukes when Mom Dukes understood everything I was doing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that was like, that's the big accomplishment, you know what I'm saying? Like, Mom Dukes own it, Mom Dukes, supporting everything what's going on. She understand, like, what I ain't gonna settle for or what I'm gonna do. I feel like that was big. And I feel like, bro, that ain't happened until shit, like, last year, June, bro. That's when it finally, I say last year, November, when we did the homeless event, getting homeless haircuts and all that. I feel like that's when she, like, finally understood, because last year I quit on the job at G4S. I started working in the corporate America, and I just went and did my own thing. And I feel like when I was doing that, Mom was like, boy, you dumb as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, that that's all they understood was work, work, work. But, when I quit it, and then I showed her, where we at now, and, I say my parents really believe it when they see you got good money. That's when they start believing, and I felt like Mom Duke started to understand that, like, that around November, when you showed them the money, you know what I'm saying, and y'all she taking trips, she going out the country. I feel like that's when she finally sat down and was like, damn, my son really doing it, you know what I'm saying, and she started, she started breaking down and everything else, so that's when it hit me. But still to this day, you still got like things that once we do something, and I say this is men, I don't think we fully satisfied when we get one thing done.
Y'all gotta stop doing that.
I don't think.
Please let me
Yeah.
tell you how horrible that is to
Toxic
your
trait.
progress. Because again, that was the mentality of this is never enough. Because at that point, now the question becomes, when is it ever going to be enough?
Shit.
Like when is it ever going to be
To
enough?
own
These
the
the
earth.
goals you
Yeah.
start setting for yourself now to keep achieving, to keep striving, to keep
Right,
going.
and that's the key
I
word
mean,
though. Keep. It's going to keep happening.
Right.
So if you have the mentality of this is not enough, I gotta keep going, like you will never be satisfied, and then you're missing out on your experience because you're too busy trying to get somewhere that you're gonna get to. If I gotta make it to a spiritual aspect, Jesus got to everything he needed to get to in all them 33 years walking.
Correct.
He walked everywhere. He ain't run. Anybody else do it for him. He ain't send nobody and they fixed it. He literally got to every single place. Blessed every person when he got there.
And to the people out there, this therapy session, so y'all,
Right.
we getting it in.
When he got there, so I cannot sit here as a female and let y'all keep doing that. And I say that because you're literally missing the nuggets that you're getting when you're progressing in what you're doing, and you're not celebrating your wins. Like you just said that was an accomplishment for you. How many other accomplishments did you make?
Before
And you
that,
overlooked that because you were focused on, okay, this is the only way that I'm going to define an accomplishment, which is not a bad thing. That's okay for you. But
you know why?
y'all not celebrating along the journey.
But you wanna know why? You wanna know why? Because we beat upon protecting and making sure moms and everything right.
Absolutely.
That's what that that
And
that's
if we
that
change the
generation
stuff,
curse.
get on and change it.
But that's the generation curse. So we beat upon that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who we want to provide to. We want to make sure they good. Because I'm gonna tell you what we look at it. We look at we look at providing for the people behind us that help us, instead of putting a big emphasis on let me make sure the people ahead of me good.
Mm-hmm.
We live upon that, and so we live backwards instead of forwards a lot. And I feel like, to answer your question, that's what us as men, you know what I'm saying, our biggest accomplishment is when we take care of people behind us.
Absolutely. And it's not to be underestimated. It's a great thing.
Come son husbands. But that's another topic.
Yes.
That's another topic.
Yes. And you're going to need all 30 minutes for that. Don't even get me started.
Become a son
Please.
husband.
That's real. So let me just, so we can just break it down, man. That was definitely funny.
Because that's what y'all.
So my mama said that.
Unfortunately.
My mama said that when I was young. Yeah, he had like, he my husband. So
let them know.
like name.
That threw you off.
That threw me off, man. That threw me off. So like, let's say this for like, we're gonna speak. I got two questions for everybody. For the kids out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
What advice could you tell them? As they grow up, what things that you could tell them that they will have to overcome, and tell them the things that you overcame as well.
Repeat that again.
So tell the kids out there, or the people, the grown ups, the young adults, like tell them the things that you had to go through. I mean, you had to go through, and tell them things that they're going to have to go through.
Yeah.
So I think you start with what they gonna have to go through
What
if they
you
want to
gonna
change
have
their
to go
mindset.
through, it's the same thing. What you gonna have to go through is keep pushing yourself. Push. No matter what, do right. Try to do right and be the best of the right that you're trying to do. And that's the only way you're gonna get further, to show an impact, so somebody believe in you, cause you in tune into what you doing, and be the example to everybody else. So when everybody is tuning into you, they get the energy, see what you're doing, to what you're putting back out to the world, to be great and to break a curse, so everybody could be great around you, who looking at you, who supported of you, around you, with you, whatever. Like, just keep pushing. Never stop.
And then answer the question though, like what's some things that you've been through?
The same thing. I had to keep pushing, never give up. Some things that I don't want to do, I have to do to get to the next level. So you're going to have to keep pushing to get to the next level, to see the things that you want to see, to get the people to grasp what you're doing and what you're trying to get them to get along with, and to break certain things. Like, you just got to stay focused on what you're doing.
Yeah, true. What about you, Pam?
One thing for the kids that you're gonna have to go through is, like, as far as like just realizing like a lot of things that mattered before don't matter now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's tough.
Like all that. I mean, I did it, but like all that Jordans having every Saturday, it don't matter when you get older.
Yeah.
All that stuff don't matter, bro. And it's like, what matters is your sanity. You feel me?
Absolutely.
True. Yeah.
Your sanity.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
you have
definitely
to,
tough.
like, I'm just starting to take my sanity very serious. You feel me? So it's like, do what makes you happy and protect your sanity. Because if your sanity not protected, if you're living for everybody else and not really things that make you happy,
Yep.
you're gonna be lost out here. You feel me?
True. What about
So-
you?
Just protect your sanity and
What you been through going into the music industry for some of the people that don't want to go through?
what I've been through is like with that music, it's like even with that, bro, like you have to protect your sanity because you have people around you that feel like they happy for you, but they'll try to like stop every moment you got like doing that, like like they'll try to stop like studio sessions by any means. They'll try to tell you that like it's not good enough sometimes, or it's missing something, or just anything to throw you off. But if you feel good about your product, you know, feel good about it. Like,
Yeah.
be like, man, this, I feel like it's done. I feel like it's perfect. Showcase it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
True.
just believe in yourself. Don't look for clarification from other people because people don't know what they talk about, bro. You know what they
sure,
talk about,
for
bro.
sure.
So,
Yeah.
Definitely all of that. Okay.
We got it.
All of that. And I that's very important to me as well. That believing in yourself aspect, because you can tell everybody your dreams, and 5% of them will actually believe that you can do it. And it's like that. What you believe in yourself and what you tell yourself matters a lot more than people like to think. Because the voice that people hear in their head all the time is, granted, it's the words of what other people say, but it's your voice when you're talking to yourself. So you have to be mindful of how you feel about you, but definitely for the kids, understanding that external validation is not important. Like, internal validation is so much more important than that, because you'll be focused on, I got to be in this in crowd and be with this type of person and hang out with these type of people. And I did that a lot, thinking that I wanted to be connected with all these people that were popular, not realizing that being in those crowds caused me more hell than being out of them. And so really be mindful of who you're connected to, who you're trying to, be friends with, who you're trying to do business with, all of that. And for me, what I had to go through was just that realization that I was never meant to be in the crowd. And then
that's special. That's hard.
people are going to be intimidated by you, but that's on them. Like, that has nothing to do with you. Because I graduated at 21. I got a master's at 23. Like, I was doing stuff, and I'm still doing stuff, and it intimidates some people, and I'm realizing that it's not anything that I did. Like, this is just my journey. This is just what I'm doing. I never gloat. I never, make people feel like they have to be on my caliber or whatever. Like, I've never created this level that people have me on. True. And I realized that just as Pound said, people will do whatever to kind of shrink you. They will keep you in whatever box that they feel like you need to be in, because either they can't get there, or they feel judged by you or intimidated by you. But whatever, like, if you are happy about what you're doing, if you are proud about what you're doing, keep doing it, because as long as you're happy with you, that is all that matters.
Snap it up for it again, y'all. Snap it up for it again. Man, just to end it, man, I'm gonna just say for the people out there, especially, I'm gonna say for the kids and for the people, man, along the way of doing what you want to do, man, you're going to experience every setback. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you come from a family that hasn't paved the way for you. You're going to experience every setback. And now that we got the social media in our world right now, you got a different, feedback that you can receive from people who don't even know you, or people who don't even really care about what you're doing. So, as you keep, growing out there, man, just handle your business. I always be a student of the game, and always be willing to learn from everybody else. And accept, criticism, because the criticism, from different people will help you get to where you need to get to. And don't elaborate too much upon what people think. I feel like that kills a lot of us, people just in general from getting where they need to get to. And last but not least, man, keep faith and understand that.
Life matters.
Yeah, and understand that, when we was kids, we used to when we used to make like the little like boxes or whatnot, and when we making clubhouses and everything out of boxes, like you be making and you be halfway done, and then next the wind is not that bit down, out of nowhere, And that's like a setback that you ain't even experienced, you know what I'm saying? But real talk, it just come out of nowhere, that bitch, not the whole thing.
Yeah.
But you know, when you was a kid, you was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it again. It didn't hit you like that. It didn't hurt you. You know, so that same type of mindset, you gotta have that along with what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? Still find the fun in what you're doing. And keep going, and keep, building that clubhouse until, get, where you want to get to, probably go be out of some old boxes or some stuff that, you didn't, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You didn't need at first, but man, just keep going, keep building your clubhouse, and you go get there. And, like, just for myself along the way, I'm going to tell y'all, I done experienced everything, from, proving stuff to the family, you know what I'm saying, to, hanging around different people, to understanding that, like, I need to see a different vision from different people that don't know me, because that was one of the most important things. And always being open up to connections, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that was a great thing that I have been doing. But most importantly, bro, stay about your shit, bro. That's it.
And if I could add one last thing, get off social media.
Yeah.
This is for all our age group, everybody older than us, all the little kids. Like, please get off of social media. Like, granted, you could be on, maximize it, utilize it for your brands, all that great stuff. But if you do not have to be on, get off, because that will lead to you comparing. That will lead to you trying to, be a somebody before you actually become a quality person. Like, you'll be comparing and trying to do stuff and trying to keep up with the Joneses because you're too busy looking at what other people have going on, and you won't be able to be successful. You won't be able to keep the faith. Like, you won't be able to do whatever you need to do because you're too busy wasting time looking at what everybody else doing. So please get off, or limit. Let me say that, limit your social media time.
Yeah, cause they gotta watch the legacy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Quality stuff. Watch quality stuff.
But last but not least, don't believe in the hype. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man.
And like what Pound said, man, y'all gotta watch the damn show. That's it, man. We done.
I thought it was Black Forces, boy.
I'm about to say, we kill it.
I work out in the black. We're finna break the generational curse today about the Black Forces. You can wear Black Forces.
Yeah, you can wear them.
Please make sure that
as
y'all
long as they clean like white forces, you can wear them. Once they beat up, you cannot wear them.
I'm about to say, it makes perfect sense.
That's what I like about Mike. Like, he gonna be hood everywhere he goes.
Okay.
He's just gonna be him.
Giving you quality.
And the people,
Mike
but
Slim.
I'd rather somebody view me from just build the book. Like, don't nobody know me just sitting up here looking straight. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be myself and tell you what it is from what I know when I go to work. Like, if I tell people they got some idea, look, bro, only from what I know, you feel me, bro? Go about it this way. Go on here, look at it, but talk to the people from the little things that I know. I don't know everything as far as what I know.
Right.